Hello everybody and welcome back to Restore You. It is Angela and today I thought we would do something just a little bit different. I'm calling it unscripted, but nothing is ever scripted that I do, so we're just going to roll with it. But I thought it might be fun to do kind of a little weekend in the life of a traveling crafter. And as you know, I commute back and forth. Dave and I both do between Iowa and Nebraska. And this weekend, I was working. Usually when I come, I work on Fridays in our dental office at City View Dental, and then on Mondays as well. So then I spend the weekend here in Omaha at our house. And I don't have a lot of supplies, but I thought it might be fun to just kind of share with you what I did over the weekend and kind of the crafts that I was working on. And if we have time, we'll do a little craft along as well. I have to apologize because the lighting in my office is not good. And not only it's not bad, it's actually good unless you're filming. So I apologize for any of the shadows, but I'll share with you some of the things I worked on. One of the first was I opened up the drawer in my office and I was like, I have 7 packs of Kool-Aid. And so I should probably do some Kool-Aid dyeing. So that is what I did. And I do have a video on how I do this. But I wanted to show you some of the results. So initially what I had done is brought, I have spools and spools of lace. For example, this won't even probably fit on the camera. But this is one of them. Look how giant this is. It's got to be almost 10 inches wide, and it's a huge, huge bolt of fabric. So my initial thought was, oh, I need to, I'll bring those along, and then while, I'm sitting and watching TV, I'll make some little spools up and put for my Etsy shop. Well, that didn't happen. I'm just going to tell you. But instead, I decided to dye some papers. And while I was at it, I decided to dye some lace trims. But I wanted to show you some of the results right after they're done. So these have not been ironed. Nothing has happened to them. They have been dyed, baked, and dried. Most of them I dry probably 90%, and then let them sit and they dry really, really well. But these are some of the results this time. I did have some kind of, I don't know, it was a yellowy lemonade color. It did nothing, so I threw that out. But this was an interesting result. So this and this were 2 prints that I had printed a while ago from something that I had. I don't even know what. But it came off onto, this is just one example, how the butterflies actually transferred onto one of the pages. And I have several pages like that. So that was kind of fun. And then the other thing is, one of the things I try to stack my trays. Let me see. Okay, so I try to stack like one tray like this, one tray like this, and then do a last tray on the top. So they get the airflow in between. Well, the one that I put on the top is actually, it's metal, but it's actually what you would probably put cookies on if you're going to cool them. And then it created this design on just a couple of them that were on the, the lower side. This was actually, let's see. This was grape, and this is what it did to this paper. That's the fun part, but look at this side. This was another copy that I had. It did almost nothing. So it's just so funny to see how these turn out, and that's part of the fun of this. This was a blue. I had no green in the mix. It was, I don't know. I should have paid attention to what they were called. Okay, so this color and this color. And I know I was looking through the camera lens. The colors are not at all vibrant like they are in real life, if you will, as you'd see here. But this is that same blue. I did a lot of papers because I thought, I don't have any here, so let's just go through what I do have and, dye some of those, some that have already been pulled out of books. This is kind of cool. It's a map of Spain and Portugal. But look, on this side, nothing. And part of that is not because of the dyeing process. It's because I'm impatient. And so I throw a lot of things into each one of the tubs, and I don't always get each individual page flipped. This time, my favorite, here, let me show you these two. This is one where when I get my papers out, I then have a piece of parchment down. Well, the parchment was getting fairly liquidy with all of the different colors. So I thought, well, I'm just going to throw some regular notebook paper down and kind of let that soak up all of the stuff that's, falling off all of these papers. And this was one of the pieces that resulted in that. And this, again, the lines actually kind of bled, which is pretty cool. And then here's some in the pink. But what I wanted to show you is what turned out to be my very favorite color. Now, red is my favorite color, but orange is my second favorite color. And one of the colors I had was not pulling as well as I wanted it to. So I dug into Rhea's stash, and she loves to bake, and she has tons of baking stuff, and she had lots and lots of food color. Well, I decided, because I didn't have orange, that one didn't turn out very well. I did not have orange Kool-Aid. I thought, well, I'll just make one with food coloring and see how that goes. I love it. Most importantly, I love this. All of the laces that I did, and I apologize because you just can't see how beautiful this is. But it's this gorgeous sherbet color. And this was an old shirt. And again, just like the papers, some pull better than others. This is another one of those reams that I have. And this is the pink. It's very, very pretty. And then this is also the blue. But if you look at this, let's see, let's see, do I have a piece of paper? Let me put it under here because I want you to be able to see it. This was done with blue, as was that. Look at that contrast. Absolutely different. Here's another orange piece in that sherbety color. It got next to the blues that was actually cooking. So it didn't turn out. I got a couple of spots, but I like that. I think it's pretty. This is the orange, but it did not turn out nearly as, vibrant, but it's got kind of a peachy, creamy color to it. So that was kind of neat. And then this one was the grape that wasn't turning out at all, but it did wonders on the lace. So it's just kind of magical when you put this all together. And like I said, I do have a video on how to do it. It's very easy. It is time consuming. There's another one of the pinks. It is time consuming. I mean, it's like an all day process for me, but I was able to do a lot of crafting while I put it in the oven. And I'm sure it's probably faster maybe for me because A, I'm not very patient, and B, I put a lot in it at one time, and I bake it for almost an hour because it's very, very wet. I don't squish the pages. I want them to be flat. So I do spend a lot of time baking it, but I get probably, triple the amount. Like some people put like a few pieces in it at a time. Not happening. I don't have time for that. And I love that, everything is totally dry when it comes out. It's nice, but it doesn't work for me. So let me tell you a little bit about how I got started with this. So this weekend, Dave, it's the NCAA, I don't know, some wrestling championship. If you guys are into wrestling, you will know what I'm talking about. I do not. I did not go. But Dave had his best friend from college who was a D1 wrestler, so he's into it. And his cousin and his cousin's son, and then two of his other friends came. So they all left yesterday and went to this tournament, and I had the whole house to myself. The kids were both gone. Rhea was gone at a friend's house. Sam was with friends. He was doing a little bowling outing. And so I just crafted the day away, and I was like, well, nobody's home. I might as well make a mess. Well, when they came home, I was also cooking. I had like lace hanging from, you know, everywhere that I could possibly think. And I had this huge stack of paper, and they were like, what do you do with that? So they got a little education on crafting 101. But I ended up getting, I mean, this whole entire bag full of lace done. And it's scrumptious. And then probably, well, right now it's probably like a 6 to 8 inch pile of paper. But I have to iron it all down. So that's going to get, you know, it's going to get all fixed up. I'm going to leave this here. I know it's just a piece of paper, but I think it will be helpful. So now let's talk about my fail for the weekend. All right, so let me start by saying I was watching Justine at House of Mahalo, and she was doing a video on how to create backgrounds and such without paint and without inks. One of the things that she did, which is the one thing I had never tried before, and I was like, well, I'm totes trying that, is she took tissue paper, just like, you know, a roll of tissue paper that you would get at, you know, Walmart, Target, and Dollar Store, wherever, you know, you can get it. And she tore off little pieces, kind of like what you see here, and she put it onto her paper, simply took water and made it, and I'll make sure I link her video, and made these beautiful designs. And I was so excited, and I sent her a message, and I said, I can't wait to do this, because I had just bought a huge roll of varied colored tissue for, we do a giveaway for referrals every quarter at City View, and I had made this little pretty little thing. I think it might be on my Instagram. In fact, I know it is. And so I had all this leftover tissue. So I got it out, and then I started ripping it up. And one thing she said was, now, you need to make sure it's like kind of the cheap kind that will bleed. Well, I had now ripped up all of my little scraps, and I did not test it. So as you can imagine, what happened is I put it all down, no bleed. So apparently I got the high-end tissue paper. I don't know, but it didn't work. So I thought, well, I'm taking myself back to elementary school. So Justine, this is for you. I was like, I am not letting these things go to waste. So I had brought with me from another project, I used the boxes of playing cards that I had picked up at a thrift shop. And I thought, well, I'm just going to cover these. And so I just covered a bunch of them. I have not backed them or done anything with them yet. And then I made this cute little thing. And I literally did it just like we did. Remember how you used to take wax paper and you would take, they would take tape and put it around all the edges so it was like a frame. And then you'd make like stained glass with tissue paper and wax paper. Well, I did that, except I just put them on the cards. And I just started collaging. And then I was like, well, I might as well make this into something. So what I did is made it into, this is sort of like what I do when I make a lap book, which I do have videos on how to make a lap book. And in fact, I dug my one project out, and I think I might do another one. So I just stuck all of this together and made these up because I had everything out. And so Justine, your idea did not go to waste. It was a great one. And then like I said, I don't have a lot of tools or, you know, stuff here. But I did find, for some reason, I have some tropical-ish, beachy stuff. And I'm working on a journal for Wallpaper Wednesday that I'm going to be taking with on our trip to Florida. So I thought, well, I'll just whip this up and see how it goes. So that is what became of that. And I have things I can work on. But, you know, when you do something and you plan it one way and it doesn't turn out, don't worry about it. Like, please, like, just roll with it. So I am going to show you another project I have with the playing cards because I had so many. But before I do that, I want to show you, because I realized that I have not shared anything on what I've been working on, which was very little. I did. I shared on one of my previous videos what I had been working on in my altered book, and it was like the front and the back. That's like all I got done. So I did work on it this weekend. I hadn't really had a vision as to where I wanted this to go. I thought I would use wallpapers in it. I thought I would make it kind of wallpaper-esque. I want to make sure you're in. See, you're not. Right? It's really hard for me because in my office, it's a desk. And so I have to sit, and I'm not used to sitting down when I craft. So I thought I would do a quick flip through. And then I thought I would show you one other thing that I think we can do together. And if we have time, depending on where we're at, maybe we'll do a page or two. But what I ended up landing on, I had brought with me, I had, I don't know, 5 or 6 pages of Amity Bloom's, one of Amity Bloom's papers. And then I had a lot of my vintage papers. I had some of my own digitals, and they're all, you know, vintage wallpaper-esque. So I thought, well, we're just going to roll with that, and that is what it's going to be. So, this is supposed to go in the middle here, isn't it? Yes. I guess I didn't put it in the middle. Or maybe I did, and I just didn't put it back right. So I did the first pages. These are both Amity's, and then I added this. I found this little sticker. What I'm doing differently in this journal is I'm leaving some of these images because they're so stinking cute. I'm going to stick that over here so you can see it. I think I'll do something different there. But lots of journal space here. This is one of the laces that I brought along to actually do. This is really naked. By the way, what I usually do, if you watched the first video when I did the altered book, I sort how I'm going to lay out all my pages, and then I cover all the bases, and then I come back and decorate. Unless I see something along the way that I have that I've made, and I'm like, I'm just going to stick that in there. So this is very naked, has not been embellished. It's just the base. This is some ribbon. Oh, Ruby. Ruby's, I don't know what she's doing over there, but she doesn't seem happy. She's whiny. It's like ribbon here, but this is like paper. It's very, very cool. So this one I left, even though the cat looks angry and the dog looks very concerned and the duck is crying, these little chicks and the chickie mama looked kind of fun. I had one of my whale tail dangles that I had. Why don't you lay down, baby? Oh my goodness. Hold, please. Guess what she's doing? Can you imagine? I had put all of my lace next to me on the floor, and she has just taken a piece of it. So this I thought was really cute, and so I have no markers here, but I just had used what I have. I think this is a highlighter. But I thought I would save this cute little girl and use my watercolors and make that cute and pretty. This is one of Amity's cards, and this is as well. And her name is Nazi, by the way. Not Amity, but I don't know why I call her that. This really does not go with this journal, but there is something that is absolutely beautiful in these 2 pages that I'm keeping them. So, you know, this is for me, so it's fine. I'm not giving this to anybody. And here I just did a quick little flip. I had some washi tape and some more lace. This is one of Nazi's digitals, and then I did a little pocket, but I was about to cut off this side and thought, well, I'm just going to leave it because I think I can do something fun with it. And then these are both pockets, tucks, whatever you want to call them, on both sides. This is just scrapbook paper. This is one of my digitals. This is one of my digitals. Some lace. And this is one of my favorites. Also Nazi's. I love the colors. And so I did those there. But then I made this into an envelope. And I have not glued it together because I don't know if I'm going to do... Will you please stop? Go lay down. I have everything laid out that I wanted to show you, and she keeps trying to get into it. I don't think she likes the fact that I've closed the office door. She's used to coming and going. But I kind of like the idea of doing envelopes, and I don't know that I've ever really done one in an altered book before. So that was kind of fun. And then this is another one of my digitals paired with just some scrapbook paper. And again, I try to leave an edge around everything because I just don't trust the paper. I just want to make sure the papers are going to be okay. This is one of my favorites. And I love, you know, the torn edges and the curled edges. Okay, I'm letting her out. Stand by. Here, the door is open. Go. 2 seconds later, she'll be back in here. But this is one of Nazi's, and this had, you know, a scene on it, and I think it had possums or something, and I was like, well, I don't want those on there, but I liked how this turned out, and there's, you know, journaling space, and then I can come back and embellish. But I like the torn edges, so a lot of people, if they're like, well, it's not, I didn't tear it, but, you know, it's got lots of rips and tears. Don't throw it away because that kind of adds to the beauty of it. And then this was the last one. I just added some lace. I'm going to keep this, and this is as far as I got. So I have a long way to go in this journal. And it just takes a while. Like, you know, every single time that you do a page, you have to, you know, cover each piece, measure each piece, glue each piece down separately, and it just takes a lot of time. But I did make some progress this weekend, so that was kind of fun. Oh, and then I must have brought this from home, but I want you guys' opinion. I think I need to probably soon do the cover. And what I want to do, why I didn't put it on this weekend is because what I think I will do is sew around it and give it kind of a tattered look because I've already done the inside covers. And then, you know, maybe add some lace on the side. But what do you think about this? If I'm using all of those vintage wallpapers, you know, give me your ideas. Do you think that's a good idea? Should I look for a different one? I'm not into worrying about matching. I'm more worried about, you know, does it look vintage enough? Is it fitting in with a theme? So I am bringing that back home with me, and I will be working on that as well. So, oh, next project. Well, let me show you, before I show you next project, let me show you something. I ran up yesterday after the boys all left, and I found, we have a little tiny thrift shop, and the ladies are so sweet. I love going in there and visiting with them. And I found 9 of these envelopes. And let's see, how long are they? Well, from top to bottom, they're 10.5 inches. Closed, they would be just a little under 9 by 5 7/8. So I was like, well, I could do something fun with those. And I must have been on the kick while I was playing with the playing cards. And now I'm going to take this away so you can see how this looks. So what I landed on, I took one of these and I just put washi tape because this is just my template. Well, I only have 9 of these pieces, these envelopes. So this is kind of what I laid out. This is going to be the flap, and the, I will end up putting a closure on this. So on the back, it's just all the way to the end. I thought I would do like a pocket or something on there. And then I just did this again, like I would do one of my lap books, but just kind of a little bit more crazy. And then, I know you can't see all this. So there are 4 envelopes plus 2 more. Here, let me show you. I have one here, and I have one here. And then I have those 2 additional ones that I think I'm going to do something else with and figure that out. But I think that's going to be a project we do, and I may do this for Wallpaper Wednesday. I haven't decided yet because, you know, sometimes that gets really, really thick. But that's kind of my little template. Nothing fancy. It's just, you know, a basic template. So that is something I put together this weekend. And then I found, let's see, I'm going to stand up while I do this because I'm afraid that, I want you to be able to see this. This is a pack of paper from Carta Bella. Now, my assumption is that I bought this and brought it here to have handy. But then I started thinking when I was working on the Altered book, I have never done a project using like an entire kit, like whether it be digital kit, whether it be, you know, scrapbook paper. And then I started flipping through this and I thought, oh, this just has the colors that are speaking to me. And you know, they've got, we've got some, our UK friends will love this. We've got Trafalgar Pond and Abbey Road and Piccadilly Pond. This is, again, called Practically Perfect by Carta Bella. And let's see, usually it tells me who the designer is, and I don't see it on here. But I thought, well, I think I'm going to do an entire kind of London, UK journal. Oh, look at this with Hyde Park. And London has a special place in my heart. I don't know if I've shared this before, but I spent many weeks there working and met so many lovely people and had so many great experiences. Going to Notting Hill and then going to the, I don't know what they call them there. Is it flea markets? Someone tell me if you're from the UK. Anyway, I got pieces of art and I was pretty young. My mom came, her best friend came, they all stayed with me. And so I love London. And my maiden name is Erringdale, which is English. And apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but there's something, my name was actually Arundel to begin with. And I do know that there's a castle there. And it's also a city, I believe. So I'm not really sure how true all that is, but look at this. This is what I decided when I was looking at the hydrangea, one of my favorites. It also looks like vintage wallpaper. I was like, that's it. I'm doing this. So that is going to be a project I think we will do together. And I have not done for a very long time a journal start to finish. So I thought maybe we would do that. Okay, so that was a decision I made. And then the last thing that I did, and I am going to show you how I did this. So if you remember, I did a bunch of the zhuzhing, the frou-frou of some of my scraps. And I had all of these playing cards from that other project. So what I did is I backed them in a piece of my Kool-Aid dyed paper, and then I just collaged them. Well, the way I did it was very expedient, and I thought maybe I would show you how to do that. Here is what I created before we go on. Okay, so I didn't do anything with this, but I found these two pieces here. I don't know. I must have gotten them somewhere at a yard sale Dave and I went to somewhere here. I believe these are what they used to give perms with. Permanents, you know, like when they curl your hair. And so I had this one and I have this one that is actually a clip. And then you're supposed to, I think, roll it on there and then it holds your hair in. So I was like, I have had these forever and I haven't done anything with them. So I made this one. I only made one little example, but I did use this little clip, which, okay, so I could leave it like that. It clips on just like this. And I could clip it on this way. You could add it so it flips over. I mean, this is really, I wish I had more of these, but I think I only had like 2 or 3. But my point is, if you have things that you don't know what to do with them, you know, give it some time. I've had those forever, and I have done nothing with them, and it was time. So, let me show you my quick and easy way, and this is really pretty pink. I know it doesn't look like it on here, and I apologize, and you have a shadow, and the sun is going down, and so it makes it worse. I have a piece of paper over the top of it. That's how bad this is. But here's what I did. I brought my sanding block with because I had my cards, and I just roughed up both the front and the back. And I'll show you how I did that. I used the 220. So the lower the number, the more coarse your sandpaper. So I just did it at the bottom, and I made sure I got the sides really good, and then I did it at the top, and then I did it in the middle, and I did that for every single one on both sides. Might as well do this one. Can you guys see that? I hope so. Oops, I didn't do the middle. And now you've roughed this up, and you're probably asking, and I've showed you this before, a lot of times when you have shiny, whether it be magazines or playing cards, you have to rough things up a little bit, and sandpaper works perfectly. If you want, I mean, I know a lot of people Mod Podge, they do, you know, all of that good stuff. Whatever you feel like doing, you do you. So what I did is I just put these literally, now this one is not very flat, but we're just going to go with it. I backed the non-number side. I don't know why. I don't think it really matters, but I was just doing it that way. And I just put them all down. Let's see, do we have enough? I did not plan this. I didn't know if we would have time to do this. How many minutes are we at, by the way? Oh, we're doing good. So all I did was, I'm pretty sure I just used my glue stick. And I quickly put each one down on here. Now, when I did this on mine, on my first example, it was an orange piece of paper, and it was somehow, I don't know, it was like a really big piece of paper, and so I had a lot of cards. But I will just do this. I am making a whole mess. It's so weird. It's like discombobulating to me to be, you know, not in my craft room. But, like, this is the life of a traveling crafter. You have to kind of work with it and make do with what you've got. I'm going to add some art glitter glue here and there just because, in fact, I might just art glitter glue all of them because this paper is, it's a lot more curly than the orange one was that I did. So we're just going to use this. And while I do that, let's just chat about and see what's going on. I got to get comfy. I'm not, like I said, I'm not used to sitting down when I craft. Okay. So I have a funny story. So, Dave had Friday off because he and his buddies were going, doing their wrestling thing. And I know some of you are going to ask, was Dave a wrestler? He was not. But he told me he got a really good education this weekend. And so he, the tables were turned. I went to the office and he stayed home and did all the domestic stuff and, cleaned the house and went grocery shopping and decided what he was going to make for dinner. Well, when I came home, now, mind you, two of the guys are, they're big dudes. They were, college football players. And so I think Dave was like, oh, I just need to make way more than we actually need. He made not one, but 2 racks of ribs. And then he had a roast and potato. They cut 5 pounds of potatoes. They had those in one crock pot. And then they had made a roast and with potatoes and part of the potatoes that they had made. And I was like, oh my gosh, how are we going to eat all of this? Well, needless to say, there was a lot of food left over on Saturday morning. So I was like, well, we are now going to have beef stew. So I made beef stew for them to have when they got back, which worked out perfectly. I was like, well, maybe we need to, it's kind of like that planning, mass making, your food prep and having it already. And it does really work. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you while I'm visiting. I'm going to show you how I just went about collaging this because I did it a little bit differently and I did it so that I saved a whole lot of time. Oh, I don't know. Now I want to kind of I'm using the music. And so then a couple of the guys were getting ready to leave today, and so they had a big breakfast, and I was, kind of condensing all of the food and the things that we had. And I asked one of the guys, I asked Craig, I was like, like, I have all this broth. I still have all these potatoes. Should I throw it out? And he's like, no, make something with it. I'm like, okay. So we are on day 3 of visitors, and I'm using that whole roux, if you will, or the base to make yet another meal. So tonight we are having, all that was left was broth and then potatoes and carrots. So I ended up making, well, it's everything but the, kitchen sink kind of thing. But I made, I'm calling it cheeseburger soup. But I used the broth and the carrots and potatoes and onions for the base. And then I added fresh green beans. I added rice, you know, because apparently, you know, we need more starch, right? And I made up hamburger and seasoned it. And I added cheese, so it's cheesy. What else did I add? Oh, we had one of the guys made, it's like a cheesy, I think he made like carrot, or no, peas and corn. And then he had some, I think he used, I don't know, probably, if I had to guess, probably Velveeta. So I had some of that left, and so I put it in there. And oh, of course the phone's going to ring. Not even my phone, by the way. Hang on. Potential spam. Isn't that the way? I'm going to turn, he forgot his phone when he left. I don't even know how to turn this off. So I got a call from his buddy saying, he forgot his phone. So I suppose if I need anything, I need to call one of his friends, huh? But I have never done anything like that ever. And I'm thinking, well, I feel like I'm being very economical. But then I'm like, and luckily it's, I mean, you know, it's his best friend. So they're like, whatever, they're fine with it. But, I don't know. It's just kind of not something I've ever done. So I'm curious to know, like, do you guys do that? Like, do you plan meals and say, oh, I'm going to do this meal, and then that way I can use it for X, Y, and Z. I don't know. I mean, it's brilliant because you really get a good run for your money on it, but I just have never done it before, so that was fun. So what I'm doing, as you can tell, like I'm kind of hitting several of these randomly with really no thought in mind. But that way, you know, it covers several of these at once. And on the one that I did before, I put them really close together. And that was fantastic. And then after I got it all done, I was like, oh, now I can't really see where the lines are. But it all worked out well because, let's see, we can do that one all the way across 3 of them. You know, you can kind of tell where the line, oops. I knew this was a risk. I shouldn't have done it. That's okay. I'm telling you, I don't have all my supplies. So I'm winging it. I don't have a glue book. Well, I have plenty of things I could use for a glue book. I'm just, I guess, choosing not to. Let's see what else we got here. This would be kind of fun if it all works out to use inside of that altered book. I really hope you can see me because I can't just look really quick. Now, normally when I do my collages, I almost always start from the outside edges and work my way in. So this was just totally random, off the wall. I just was like, nope, I'm going to do it this way, and we're just going to see where it leads us. And I kind of liked how it worked, so I'm going to do it over and over. And also, I had, let's see, well, 52 times, I don't know even how many decks of cards I had, 3, 4. And so I had all these cards. And I was like, what am I going to do with these? But, you know, mass make and then go from there. I'm digging through my pile here. I wonder, after we're done, I'm looking for some colors that might work. I feel like we need a little bit of this. And I also, by the way, tried to use, ooh, this is pretty. This isn't even a scrap. On these, I tried not to use cardstock. I tried to use just thin paper because I don't know that it sticks as well. And, you know, when you start getting really, really thick with your papers, then, you know, you risk the chance, especially when you're using glue stick. Well, I don't like that. Well, when in doubt, just keep adding things to it. Why not? Here we go. And I think you'll be tickled with how they turn out when you're done. Like, you know, they don't look like much right now at all, but when they're finished, I think you'll like them. And, you know, if you want to be neat and tidy, don't do what I'm doing and glue right on my cards. Have we used this one yet? No, we haven't. Let's use a piece of it. I don't know. Just going to stick that there. Where are we missing? We have here, 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 and over here. I'm going to put this like kind of there and see what happens when we cut it. And hopefully this will all be dry enough so I can cut it. Let's do this one up here. But you know, sometimes this is very therapeutic. You don't need to think about it. It doesn't have to be difficult. You don't have to have a plan. Art is not, you know, sometimes, like Bob Ross always says, and I say it sometimes too, you know, happy mistakes are awesome. And you get something totally unexpected that you wouldn't have got before just by playing around with it. So, you know, don't be afraid to do that. I'm going to put this off the top of this page. So I don't want it all gluey. And I did that a lot on that other page because it was so big. And if you were really good, you would probably, you know, you could, I'm not, but you could probably use your paper cutter too. I feel like we need some more paper or more words. Let's see, let's get some more in here before we stick this down. Never mind, I'm just going to stick it down. And then we'll wrap it up. I've got, let's see, I think, so today is Sunday, and I think I have, I have a lot of videos to do. I'm going to pull that off because I have a little glue on there. I think I have 3 or 4 videos I have to get done so that I don't have dead air time on our channel while I'm gone. Here and here, that's all I need right there. Dig deep, Ange. What do you got? Ooh. Here, I've got some of this flour. Let's put that there. So this is just kind of an added little bonus. I think if I can make it happen, I'm just going to try to upload it tonight. If not, you'll be seeing this tomorrow. One never knows. When I did our, and I was so excited, you guys, about doing that subscriber celebration video, and I had the cutest little setup, and Dave was all ready to do it, and it just went downhill. Technology was not my friend that night. And he was even doing it while he had company here. So that was, I mean, you got to give the guy some kudos. I'm surprised they didn't want to be in it, because knowing them, they're kind of hams. They probably would have wanted to. Okay, so are we missing any place? Oh, I see one spot. And I'm going to put this here. Have no idea if that's actually going to be on a tag or not, but we're going to just do that little bitty bit. Hoppity hop. Okay. I'm going to see if this is dry enough. All I did, and we only have 2, right? We only had 2 rows. And I kind of did this. Make sure it's all glued down after I bent it. All right, we're going to try this way. I don't know. I don't know if it, I've not done it. I've only used my scissors. Okay, let's see how this works on camera. Can you... Ugh, that light. I can't wait to get back into my own craft. What I need to do is I do have some lights that would actually work. How did I do? Well, I'm still off on the edge, but that's okay. And I do know that the top is right there. Let me grab the scissors. So I know I don't have to cut anywhere right there. And then, I'm just gonna... Now, the one thing you will have to do is round your corners if you want them rounded. But these make great journal cards. If you do artist trading cards, they make great artist trading cards. And then let's just... Oh, I kind of don't want to cut that piece off. I'm going to leave it for now. And then I just go back and, you know, check here and there if I need to put those down. But let's just get this other one done. And then you can see what they look like. Okay. This was a piece of cardstock, I think. So that's going to be... Let's see. Let me fold this over. And I can't really see in this light because I had to turn off one light so I could actually get a little bit better lighting, which, can you believe it? It's still terrible. So it makes it really hard for me to see. Okay. That's another one of those. I am going to cut this one off because I've already covered it. Where is it? Where is it? Kind of just got to go for the feel. Go for the feels. And what I did is I just cut every one of mine and then rounded the corners and touched it up where I needed to add glue. And interestingly, why is that? Oh, I know why it's so hard, because this is a piece of cardstock. All right, so now let's see what we got with all of our goodies. So we have that. This one I left the edge on. This one looks like it. I mean, but you could do this one that needs to be cut down. And ta-da, you just made yourself 8 little journaling cards in no time at all. So let's see, what else do you have to look forward to this week? We're doing another Wallpaper Wednesday. I have some more goodies came in Happy Mail from a couple of the collaborators on the project. So that will be fun to share. And then we have a cool project. And then I have one that it's all ready, and I've got a lot of pieces and parts, so I really need to get it done. But that I'm especially excited about that will air while I'm gone on vacation. And then I think I haven't been shopping for a long time. Oh. Potential spam. How many of you guys get all of those? Like, I mean, I get them quite a bit, but I put my phone on airplane mode when I'm doing my videos. I didn't realize Dave's phone was in here, and so I would have done that as well. But I'm just curious, like, is it just us, or I don't know why we get so much spam stuff. I mean, it'd be different if it said something like a phone number, then I would answer it, but it doesn't. It just says potential spam, so I'm not answering it. I'm sorry. And usually those potential spam ones are some recorded person, or they'll say, I've had some of them that have gone to voicemail, and then they leave you a voicemail message, and they're like, hey, just calling you back. And I'm like, really? Because I never called you, but okay. And it's a total voice recording. There we go. We are set. Oops, I made that one a mess. So with this, I'm going to go over these and show you one more time. You have just a quick, easy project. You could even do that sitting on the sofa, watching a little movie of your choice, or catching up on your favorite shows, and just create a bunch of bases. So now these are done and ready to be decorated. Or, I mean, they're perfectly cute by themselves, and they've already got the journaling spot on the back. So if you didn't want to add anything to them, they're done. So there's your quick little project for the day. And then these are the ones that I did using all of my dyed scraps. So we will probably see some of these in our altered journal, I am sure. I will let you go enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I hope it is a fantastic one. I want to thank you all very, very much for subscribing. We are continuing on our journey, having a great time, and I'm gearing up for, well, I'm getting ready to package out all of the winner's goodies from our last giveaway, and then I've got pretty much everything wrapped up with the exception of maybe one thing that I'm working on behind the scenes for the next giveaway. So if you have not yet subscribed, it'd be a good time to do it now. So that you don't miss out on that. But I thank you for being a part of today, and I hope you're having I hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you again soon. Until next time, just remember to take time to just be. Cheers.